Subsea Company manufactures a range of gauges in common sizes from 3,000 to 20,000 pounds pressure. We make our gauges with Zytel cases and face plates. They're designed so that the case is able to flex under pressure as well as being corrosion resistant. Our gauges also have a pressure compensating bladder inside, and they're glycerin filled. We get our gauges off the manufacturing line. One of the things we do is we actually individually put each gauge into a pressure chamber and run that gauge to full seahead pressure at 5,000 psi. We then take the gauge out and check the calibration to make sure that the gauge works properly once it's been exposed to external pressure. So between the Zytel cases, which get you the advantage of a non-corrosive gauge case, and the fact that we actually test our gauges prior to shipping them at full rated depth, you have an opportunity to get a superior product that you can have confidence in that it works properly when you run it subsea. The problem that all of us have had in the past is you can buy a high quality gauge from any number of manufacturers, but the simple fact that it's never actually been tested in the pressure chamber makes you the guinea pig who's doing the pressure chamber testing the first time you run it. We have found that because these are bourdon tube type gauges that are used for this application, that it is possible to have a gauge that's fully calibrated, fully certified as being accurate, and you run it in a pressure tank, and when you bring it back up, you can find out that it is way out of calibration. That's the reason for our testing method of calibrating the gauge, run it to full water depth, bring it back up, and then recalibrate it again to make sure that the gauge actually survives having 5,000 pounds external pressure applied to it. We have a number of these gauges in stock. So we're going to have 2.5, 3.5, 4.5 inch gauges from 3,000 to 20,000 psi in stock on our shelf for a 2-day delivery. We can actually turn a gauge in 1 day. We will have in-house calibration facilities to NIST level 2 so we can guarantee the accuracy of the gauge on the day that it's shipped.